Okay, morning folks. Welcome to the Global Power Platform Bootcamp UK edition. Firstly, apologies for running this on a working day. I know everybody also has work to go to, and hopefully you've maybe got us on in the background as well as getting some work done. The Global Power Platform Bootcamp is the February 18th and 19th, and unfortunately, I happen to be moving house this weekend. So Friday it is. So all of these sessions will be available on YouTube, but just look at who's managed to show up despite the fact that we're recording this on a Friday. Look at the faces that we've got here and the presenters. So thank you so much to everybody for taking part and really jumping in and helping the community out to put on the only UK Global Power Platform Bootcamp event. So without further ado, let's just move on and I'll introduce you to me. So I'm your host today. So in case we haven't met, that's a crying shame and we should get on and do that. So reach out to me on all of these social things. So I'm Sharon Sumner. So I'm one of the leads of the Cambridge Power Platform user group, and one of our first speakers is also one of the new leads of the Cambridge Power Platform group as well. I'll introduce you to him in a moment. So I'll be around all day. So in the background of all of these sessions, I'll be here, I'll answer questions, I'll interrupt the speakers because that's what I do. So that we make sure that everybody is getting their voice heard through the chat, and make sure that the presenters are getting some good feedback as and when it happens, if they're busy presenting and not necessarily looking at the screen. So I'll be your moderator. If we can keep the questions in chat, that really helps. And throughout the day, as I say, please let's have some chat going on that chat channel, and keep the thing light and airy and moving along. So obviously today what we're going to do is we're going to be recording all of the speakers so that we can put that live on YouTube. There will be events going on around the world, so expect to see lots of YouTube videos coming out over the coming few days, and we'll be prepping those up next week or in the next week or two. We've got quite a lot of speakers to get through. Housekeeping, please be respectful in your comments or in your questions. If we permit you to come off mic, please be respectful to the speakers that have given up their time for the day. And that's all I'm going to say on that, because I think it's a given. We're a community and we work together. These guys that have spent their time to come and pass on their knowledge and help show you some cool stuff that they've done in these apps. So it's really important that we respect the speakers and also the guests. So thank you everybody for coming along. Here's our agenda for the day. So what are we looking at? First up, the amazing Sancho Harker, who we can all see up there, hopefully, at the top of the screen. He's ready to go first. Sancho is Microsoft MVP, as are most of the speakers today, and will be sharing with us some of the stuff he's been doing on the amazing theming tools in PowerApps. Really worth seeing this session. I think this is probably the first session since version 3, so we're super lucky to have Sancho kicking off the day. We've got a session with Shane Young. This is a pre-recorded slot that he's done for us that we'll play for you at 10:30. We're going to move on to Serge and Isabel. Governance, really important topic. Sorry, let's skip forward. We've got Thomas, we've got Nick coming along from Microsoft to share with us some PowerApps Portals session. We've then got Daniel, Marcin, Elizabeth. I mean, the names just go on. We've got loads and loads of people throughout the day. So it's going to be a really packed day. As you can see, we've got very few breaks, but again, don't worry. If there's a session that you want to see, we'll have that recorded and we'll notify you once we've put all those up on YouTube. So keep a lookout on the CAMS PPUG channel on my YouTube. So thank you. All of the sessions will be on YouTube. So let's get started.
Thank you. So I will start the presentation now. I will share my screen. So can you see it? The presentation for Portal customer pages.
Yeah, that's great. We can see that.
Yeah, great. Cool. So today I will talk about PowerApps Portals. So I work with them a lot during the usual projects and tasks, and I want to specify more about the customer pages and their setup. Maybe some issues, workarounds, and useful tips that you can use during your projects. Yeah. So the first is how do you start development in PowerApps Portal? First option is to use WYSIWYG, which is what you see is what you get. And the second is Portal Management tab. What you see is what you get is very similar to what we have in Dynamics 365 or model-driven application, where we edit forms and we just use drag and drop technology to stop our forms. Add any component there and really see what you will get after you publish your settings. And the portal management application is an application that creates when you create any PowerApps portal. So there is a limitation of PowerApps portal management application. It is only one per environment, and it contains information and setup for each portal you have in your environment. So let's start the demo. So this is the parts where what you see is what you get. And you can set up any page, the website, and here is a portal management application. So how do you get like these pages? How do you set up them? It consists of different parts. As usual, you have some header, you have body, and then you have footer. We will talk about each of them, but mostly I will specify, will make more attention for the body part. So let's start from the header. If we go to portal management application, we can see web template. This web template is base for every web page. So every web page should contain should have a web template, which is based on. So the main part is page copy. Page copy is an empty element of the web page where you can put anything you want, and it does not contain any other information. It is just a blank space. This part is what we usually use if we want to create some custom interface or some custom business process and logic. There is a footer part. Yeah, I have two of them because I had two portals, and now one of them is inactive. So this website is empty, and this is current portal that you can see on the screen. So the footer itself contains different parts. Here you can see also a script. So the web template is just HTML script that you use to display any element on your website. And here you can see some HTML text and then the editable snippet footer, and this snippet is here in the content snippet. So if you go to the content snippets, you can find footer here and see what code is here. And here is a span with copyright text, then it is date. This brackets means that it is a liquid code. This code that is used by PowerApps Portal, and also some other text. And as you can see, this is just what we have in the footer. Let's go back to the web pages, as it is our main topic. You can create web page from this editor or from portal management. In the editor, you just click a new page. You can use blank or some landing page. You also can do this from the page navigation. You can see some hierarchy here that, for example, some page one is goes as a child page of the home page and of the pages, and so on. I have created already some examples, and we will proceed to them. So how do you create? What is the basic setup for web pages? You should specify the name, the website is your portal. Then the parent page, it is optional, but it is kind of recommended. So you can specify a parent page as a home page, because home page is like the first and the main page you have in the portal. Then you should specify partial URL. For example, here is like a home page, so you don't have any continue of the URL. But if you navigate to contact us, you will see there is a contact us URL, like partial URL. Then the page template, which we already discussed, and the publishing state, which means if you put a published status here, then you will be able to see and to use this page on your portal. But if you use a draft mode, then you will not be able to see it, which is fine and very useful when you just develop your portal and test some features. You just put in draft mode during the test, during testing of your portal. All of these things, they are pretty easy and understandable what they mean and what you should specify there. But next part is can be a little bit complicated if you only start working with portals, or also if you already worked with portals, but there are some ideas that you need to understand and use when you create the website. So there are three parts of three approaches that you can use when creating a portal. It is advanced form, list, and basic form. And also there is another option, is custom code, when you don't specify any of these items. Let's go back here, because you can see that it is not mandatory. You can just keep them. So let's go to the first example. I will start with the basic form. So I have specified, I have created some example. It is a student table. I want to keep some information of students, like their name, their how they study, what is their score, what is their progress, and some other information. So what I have done here, I have created a web page and named it Student Basic, because I will start with this basic form setup. And then, yeah, I have specified the website, the parent page is home, then partial URL students, and I put the default studio template. It is empty template, so that I could add any other information I need. And then the publishing state is published. What is next? The next part is localized content. It means that you can create different languages here, and when user and logins to your portal, user can select any language, like it is English or Norwegian or Japanese or any other, and you have localization for each of these languages, which can be more user-friendly. So we navigate to this page. We can see additional setups here. For example, this web page language is English currently specified, so I have created only English. Yeah, and the title, I have added some student basic. So what does it mean, basic? You can see here in the HTML designer that it includes entity list with the key student list. So let's go and see what is a student list. We'll go to components, lists, and here is a student list. So as we know, it is in Dataverse table, and the view in the Dataverse, it is used here as a table. So the name of the list is student list, and the table I have used is my student table. And then the website. Other thing here is that I have created here a view, and I have selected active students, which is just a view from the table. So that's the preparation here, which is quite easy. Let's go back to the web pages. Where is the students basic web page and localized content. So this entity list, student list, this is a basic setup for the web page. So if we navigate to students basic, you can see a list, but you will ask where is the option to create a new record or edit existing one. So here is it. Like when you click on these options, you click view details, and this is the basic form. So the basic form, it contains only, it looks like a pop-up window. It contains only main information of the form. If you click on edit, you will see the edit options. So let's go back to web pages. No, let's go to lists, and we will see how these buttons were added here. I will open again the student list. I will go to options. Here is it. So in this list was created on the basic web page, and this list contains some action items. I will click advanced setting because it is often turned on and you may not see some important setups here. So the target type is basic form. You can select here web page or URL. So when you click on the edit button, it can open a basic form, a web page, or the URL. And the basic form here is students edit. Let's see what is this form. You need to open basic forms. And here I have created the student edit form. This form, it is a part of list, and list is part of web page. So this is a hierarchy. When you open the basic form, you can see that I have specified here an entity, which is student, then the form name. The form name is just one form that I have created on this table. Then I have specified also the tab, which I could also skip because it is not mandatory. Then I also have specified the edit mode because if you specify read-only, it will not work as you click on the edit button, which you have set up in the list, but you open it in the read mode and it will just not work. So you need to specify it correctly. One other important thing here is to specify the query string, because when you click on the edit, it navigates to a pop-up window which has embedded form with a link to the current record that you have selected. So you need to specify a query string and pass an ID parameter. I think it works automatically if you select query string, it automatically adds the ID, because ID is just an identificator of the record. And don't forget to specify enable table permissions, because you will need to specify all the permissions and security hierarchy and setup in order to save your licenses and in order to work correctly with the portal. So here is it. You can edit any information and it will be updated here. Let's go to the next web page option for setup. This is student advanced web page. And we will navigate to this page. So this page also will contain the list, because in order to open any form with already existing one record, you need to navigate to it, and you need to pass some parameters like identificator of the record. So I also have added the web page with student advanced URL with this list. If we see here, let's also navigate to the localized content. And here we'll see that I have included entity list, student advanced. Let's go to the list. And to the options, which options has this list. So I have added here another button, create, and the target type of the create button is a web page. So I have created another web page where we will see how we can manage our records. And here is a redirect web page. You can select any web page you have created. So here is student advanced create. Let's navigate to this page. And here I have specified the advanced form, student advanced create. So here is a part where we will see the difference between basic and advanced form. If I open this form, you can see that it is advanced form type. And here is a difference. When you open basic form, you simply open a pop-up window. It is very simple interface and you don't suggest any complicated logic there. But if you create an advanced form, if you use advanced form on your web page, it means that you have several steps. For example, here I have the start step, general, and I have created in this table, I have created two tabs. First tab is general and second tab is details. So the logic is quite easy. First step would be the first tab and the second step would be the second tab. Let's see how it works here. So I can create it from the navigation pane or I can create from this button. By the way, this button has appeared because I have added it to the list. So if you remember, there is a list and options, and here it navigates to another web page. You can see how it structures. So the first page was student advanced and the second page student advanced create. And here it is. So the first step, you can see that it is 0% is finished on this form when creating the record. And there is a button next. You can also add any other button here later, but it is out of the box, what is provided by Microsoft. Let's go and see how to create these steps. You can create it from here, this advanced form step. So let's see how the first tab was created, the first stage. So it is related to the advanced form. I specified that this step is a part of this form. Then I have specified the type. It can be any of these types, but as we use tabs, I just set up that we should load tab here. And then I specified the same settings that we saw previously. It is the entity that you use, like this table student. And then I have specified also the next step, like it is details. And let's see the definition of the form. The definition of the form is insert, because we are creating a record, so we do insert. If we edit in the record, we will specify here edit mode. And you know when to use read-only. Then other important settings here is how you form the step. This step is that you specify the forms that you use. So you have specified the tables that you use, and then you specify form on this table. So I have created another form. Information was out of the box, but the student main form advanced is my form. And I have created there two tabs, general and details. And general I have specified here. So this will be part of this step. Let's go back. Next step, we specify here details. Let's go to details. the same settings here, but I haven't specified next step because I don't have it. And the form definition here is the same. So you need to set the form and the tab. So looks quite easy. Let's go back here. We will select. Let's select some record. And by clicking next, I'm navigating to the second step. Here I can see that the progress is half to our goal. Then I specify some information like attendance and average score here, and I can click submit, or I can navigate to the previous step. So I will submit this record, and let's see. It is appeared here in the list. And there is another interesting setting you can use, is this progress bar. Let's navigate to the advanced form. It was specified somewhere here. Yeah, progress indicator. So while you move through all these steps, you can display progress bar, or you can display some number, like which step you are and how many of them, and also title. And then the position, so you can put it at any position regardless to where it was set up. So it can be anywhere you would like to see it. And let's go back to web pages. We are proceeding to the third option, which is list, student list. So this time I haven't used any other web page here. I just specified the list here, like the student list. But what is the problem? If we go back to, for example, basic or advanced web page, here you can see that I have specified the page template, default studio template, which is empty template. Yeah, it contains this page copy, which is just an empty element. When I tried to add the same template to this page, it was empty. Why? Because it contains only empty element. So if you want to use the list as the main element of the form, you should go to, let's see, student list, and you should specify the page template. There is out of the box a full page template that you can use. Let's see it here. I want to show it. Web template, full page. So the full page contains all the items that you need, like that you usually use on your portals. It is entity list, it is entity form, and it is web form. So you see, if you have on your web page entity list, it will be displayed. If you have form, it also will be displayed. And if we have a web form, it will also be there. So now you see why you should specify, why it is important to specify the correct page template. So I have specified the full page here, and this allowed me to display the list. So if we go to content page, you will see there is no custom code at all. And there is only this list, which you can just use. You have specified this list, and you will get it here. So it is quite simple. Yeah, I hope I explained it more very simply. Yeah, so we have discussed all these items, all these types, and here is the solution, like the conclusion to what we saw. So when you want to use the standard UI and flow, like you don't want any custom logic, any customization, you just use these three types. So use advanced form, list, or basic form. And these custom codes that we saw, you use only when you want some custom logic or custom UI. And some custom code will be generated when you use any of these parts. But for example, when you use what you see is what you get editor, you will see the custom code because it will be generated automatically. Yeah, so that's it for custom pages. Thank you very much. And I have added some other links that you can use when you start working with Portal. Yeah, so I hope it was useful. Yeah, if you have any questions, please ask.
We don't actually have any questions. I'm so sorry for that bumpy intro, Elizabeth.
No, it's okay.
It just completely died on me. But it's great to have you as part of the session today, and thank you so much for attending. If you could copy those into the chat window for us so that everybody has access to those links, that would be really handy.
Yeah, sure.
And also let us know, how to get in touch with you on social and bits and pieces like that, so that we can add that to the deck when we put you on YouTube. That'd be fantastic.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I think that was a really nice walkthrough. We'd seen PowerApps Portals a little bit earlier in the day, and you've added a bit of meat to the bones. So that was really good. Thank you so much for doing that. Yeah. Thank you for coming along and joining the bootcamp.
Yeah, thank you for having me.